Welcome back to R.A.I.N. I am Sharif. This video series will cover Democracy is Treason. And I will start with the definition of treason right out of Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition. Page 1672. Treason. The offense of attempting by overt acts to overthrow the government of the state to which the offender owes allegiance, or of betraying the state into the hands of a foreign power. Try to keep that definition in mind. I will reread it later. Right now, I will go to the Constitution. Now I'll read Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government, and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or of the executive against domestic violence. Okay? Article 4, Section 4 guarantees every state of the Union a republican form of government. But you have all these politicians talking about democracy this, democracy that. They always have an excuse to go into someone else's country and overthrow their government and say it's to protect our democracy, when the Constitution only guarantees a republican form of government. So now you see where the treason is. They actually overthrew the government, but they're still talking treason. But I will go to the Soldier's Training Manual now, out of my book, Who Are You? Knowing Your Ancestors. Now I'll read to you the definition of a democracy and a republic. Let's see. The Soldier's Training Manual, TM 2000-25, 118 to 120. Democracy, a government of the masses. Authority derived through mass meeting or any other form of direct expression. Results in mobocracy. Attitude towards property is communistic, negating property rights. Attitude towards law is that the will of the majority shall regulate, whether it be based upon deliberation or governed by passion, prejudice, and impulse, without restraint or regard to consequences. Results in demagogism, license, agitation, discontent, and anarchy. Now from that same Soldier's Training Manual, TM 2000-25, 120 to 121. A republic is defined as the authority is derived through the election by the people of public officials best fitted to represent them. Attitude towards property is respect for laws and individual rights, and a sensible economic procedure. Attitude towards law is the administration of justice in accord with fixed principles and established evidence. The strict regard to consequences. With strict regard to consequences. A greater number of citizens and extent of territory may be brought within its compass. Avoids the dangerous extreme of either tyranny or mobocracy. Results in statesmanship, liberty, reason, justice, contentment, and progress. Okay, there you have it. You have both definitions of a democracy and a republic from the Soldier's Training Manual, dated 1928. All right, now I will read Secret Treaty of Verona from my book. Secret Treaty of Verona was introduced November 22nd, 1822. Congress found out about it and they put it on the record. This is Congressional Record, 64th Congress, Senate Session 1, April 25th, 1916, page 6781. Article 1 of the Secret Treaty of Verona reads as the following. The high contracting power is being convinced that the system of representative government is equally as incompatible with the monarchical principles as the maxim of the sovereignty of the people, with the high divine right engaged mutually in the most solemn manner to use all their efforts to put an end to the system of representative governments in whatever country it may exist in Europe, and to prevent its being introduced in those countries where it is not yet known. So, there's been a conspiracy to get rid of a Republican form of government for a long time. Now I'd like to go from one congressional record to another. This is the 76th Congress, Session 3, House of Representatives, April 19th, 1940. In making this statement, Mr. Choate takes the position that Great Britain or England is our mother country. The same position that was taken by Cecil Rhodes over 50 years ago and by Andrew Carnegie in 1893, when he wrote a book entitled Triumphant Democracy. I want you to note particularly that this was in 1913, and that 1913 was the very year we changed our government from a republic to a semi-democracy. The year in which we destroyed constitutional government, international security, and paved the road for us to become a colony of the British Empire. It was also the same year in which we, by adopting the Federal Reserve Act, placed our treasury under the control and domination of the Bank of England and the international banking groups that are now financing the British-Israel movement in the United States. It was also the year preceding the World War, a war in which we became involved, as everyone knows, in 1917. But what everyone does not know is that we were committed to this war in 1910. And were to all intents and purposes in the war in 1914, when J.P. Morgan and Company began to finance the Triple Entente. This statement is borne out by Mr. J.P. Morgan's own testimony before the Senate committee investigating the munitions industry. All right, that was 76 Congress, April 19th, 1940. And for those of you that don't know, World War I was from 1914 to 1918. All right? I'm going to let you marinate on that. This concludes part 1 of this video series, Democracy is Treason. Peace.